Yeah, so I read or saw whatever that reaction videos, are a big thing. Um, that's where you watch a video and you react to it and you talk about it or some shit, and then money starts pouring in from YouTube. I mean, that seems like a pretty easy way to make a buck. So, presented for your consideration and hopefully deep monetization is my first YouTube reaction video. This one is some rabbi, Ben Shapiro, talking to a Muslim girl at some college, it looks like. Let's get into the action.
The vast disparity between the number of Palestinians being killed and the number of Israelis.
I mean, I would certainly hope that Israel is killing more Hamas.
This isn't a conflict. This isn't a conflict. This is one-sided ethnic terrorism.
Again, I'm just asking you, if based on the numbers, more Germans died than Brits in World War II, did that mean that the British were wrong in World War II? Because they did. Many more Germans died than Brits. Based on the numbers, does that mean that Britain was wrong in World War II?
Britain wasn't bombing civilians.
She's never heard of Dresden, I guess.
You should talk to the people in Dresden, but you can't because they're dead.
There's a clear difference. Well, I agree
Little
that
hush.
it's horrible, but this is not a just war. What Israel is doing is not a just war. There's a difference between fighting the Nazis.
So it is not a just war.
Fighting the Nazis.
It is not a just war when you fight a war against people who murder 1,500 of your civilians and take 233 of them, at last count, captive into tunnels. It is not a just war to obliterate them. Please name a just war.
Israel's been killing civilians for the past 75 years, and there was no headlines about it, and nobody said that the Palestinians were
Israel does not purposely kill civilians. Palestinian terrorists do.
Israel has not
If Israel put down its guns tomorrow, there would be a second Holocaust. If the Palestinians put down their guns tomorrow, there would be a Palestinian state. That is the reality. And let me ask you this.
Not be a Palestinian.
I'm just going to ask you the last question, the same question I asked her. Which part of Palestine is occupied?
The entirety of Palestine, but I'm not
once again.
The destruction of Jews.
I appreciate you expressing your full genocidal intent for the Jewish people living between the rivers.
Why is it genocidal to call for a state that is not apartheid? You can have a state where all citizens have equal rights, Jews and Muslims.
I'm sure that's going to go amazingly under the same people who are governing the Gaza Strip, where currently zero Jews live.
The time, can we move on to the next question, please?
This is very, very important to get. This is a big mistake that's made in many different conversations going on our social scene today, and that is using numbers to determine morality. Numbers have nothing to do with morality. That means that if terrorists kill 10 innocent civilians and a state kills 1,000 terrorists, what the state is doing is moral, what the terrorists are doing are immoral, even though the numbers are vastly different. It has nothing to do with numbers. This is all confusion in order to avoid taking responsibility, which humanity, unfortunately, is very good at doing and not taking responsibility. And we must uphold that. Unfortunately for Israel,
this is Rabbi Weinstein speaking. He's reacting. So I guess I'm reacting to his reaction video on this.
A perfect example of that, where it was very clear that many civilians had to have been killed in order to stop the war, even though they were innocent, because they were collateral damage.
He's got a bunch of books behind him. I'm always looking at the books. And I guess that was it. Okay, now it's time to rake in the moolah.